station of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game. Big Ten champions.
Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon.
He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
It's a Friday. Joey Mack, Mike Jorgensen, and Jerry Allen.
Voice of the Ducks, good to be
Ladies and gentlemen, look at that.
So I said yesterday that it's spooky season. Jerry is out on assignment, and so we thought, well, we can't just have Jerry be a part of the show with graphics to make picks, and so we said, well, hey, Ryan, it's an early Halloween. You get to play Jerry Allen, so Ryan Milano as Jerry Allen today. Welcome.
I'm just excited to sit on this side of things when Sarge brings in all the food. Normally
Yes.
I'm over there, have to eat in the background. But today, it'll be in the foreground, and I'm excited for it. There is food coming, right?
No.
So,
Look, Sarge always
Is
comes
it too
in.
late to leave?
Sarge always comes in, as we all know, before a home game. But, that is something that Jerry
The
would
next
say.
game
Isn't it,
is a
Jordan?
home
Yeah.
That is something that that's a good point. That is something that Jerry would say in this moment. Well done.
that's why we're here,
That's
Jerry,
why we're
right?
here, Jerry, yeah.
Hey, by the way, get rid of the wig, would you? Okay. Can you imagine Jerry with that right there? I mean, I'd love to have that right there.
Wait.
Okay.
What did Jerry's hair used to look like?
I'd have to break out some old pictures, but it was darker.
Yeah.
It wasn't curly,
Yeah.
but it was darker.
Well, there's some great pictures out there. If you just Google for Jerry Allen and Mike Jorgensen, there's some great pictures of
V-neck sweaters,
of fabulous sweaters with actually that logo on it, the Donald logo, for lack of a better phrase, on the top of the V-neck. And then Jorgie and Jerry just in awesome aviators. I mean, they
were funny.
It was Top Gun in a picture. It is a
They were-
great image.
There's some good ones out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at them a lot of times and love every one of them. So.
Yeah.
There was some shopping that was done last night. I just wasn't sure that any of it was tasteful enough to bring to the show today.
We talked about, I just wanted to tell everybody, we're going to have some fun today. We'll review the Oregon football season. We'll make Big Ten picks. Get ready for Oregon soccer. They're in action right now at Pape Field. We'll keep you updated. Also, Oregon volleyball in action tonight at 6 o'clock and tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Some unfortunate news for men's basketball that we will get to coming up. However, we just should say, we discussed having a bib. We discussed various glasses options. But at the end of the day, so I got asked this just yesterday, so what are you for Halloween? I was like, well, I always dress up as Jerry Allen. Because it's the easiest costume ever for me to do because I just wear duck ear and put a headset on. That's what you're doing. You look like Jerry.
You and I, we had a picture earlier this year where it was the two of us. We showed up on a show together, unironically wearing the same outfit. I think we could tandem for Halloween being Jerry Allen.
Maybe someday I'll be Mike Jorgensen.
Should be no, never. Be two. That's not as scary as Jerry Allen. So be two Jerry Allens. I would love to see side by side Jerrys.
I have a great picture of Jerry and I my first year doing men's basketball, where we both showed up wearing very similar ties, a green button-up shirt, both had our glasses on, and Joe Waltasti, shout out to Joe Waltasti of the Oregon Communications staff formerly, and he walked by and he was just like, look at you two, and he just takes this picture, and it's pretty classic.
It's a classic, yeah.
Yeah.
People come up to you said that we were brothers, you and Jerry.
I got a lot of so is that your dad? Right? I got a lot of that. Well, actually, but Jay Allen used to get a lot of that, right, Jorgie? When Jay was on the sidelines, right? It was, is that your son? No,
Right.
no, just different Allens, different Allen families, right? So it happens, We got the family photo comment, though. I don't remember who that was in the comment section. Was like, when we were wearing the same thing, I was like, you guys look like you're posing for a family photo. That was a good family photo.
That was a great photo
that we took.
I should frame that.
That's a good one.
We should have it in studio somewhere.
The screen grab of that is pretty great. Oregon football. It is the bye week. It's a work week. So the first question that I have for one Mike Jorgensen is, how did he spend his bye week?
Oh,
and how is he spending his bye week?
Yeah, bye week. I tell you, really good. It was a good bye week. Be able to spend some time over in Western Idaho watching my grandson play football.
Let's go!
9 years old. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's so much fun. Trying to teach him how to hold without getting caught. That's an art in itself.
No offensive lineman holds.
I know they never hold, but if you're going to, you have to teach him the right way to do it instead of the wrong way to do it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was great getting over there. They had lost some close games before we'd been over to watch them. They won both games on Monday and Wednesday. So
good luck, Georgie.
So much fun. Much fun.
Didn't you return to Ontario, though? Didn't you get to go to the old stomping grounds? Was
that
part of this trip?
Yeah. They played their first game on Monday night in thunderstorms, by the way, moving in, which was kind of cool. It's the first time in 45 years I've been to the actual field of Ontario High School, where I grew up playing high school football.
Yeah.
But I had never been back there for an actual football game or any other type of event because we're always busy, right? Either as a player in the early 80s or as a broadcaster. Fridays and Saturdays aren't good days to go watch high school. I've watched them play high school playoff games here in Oregon, in Corvallis or up in Portland or wherever else they might play, but never at Tiger Stadium. So that was kind of neat. It was really
That's
neat.
what I was hoping you'd bring up, so that's why I asked
you. Yeah, got some good pictures of my grandson and I afterwards with the Ontario logo in the background.
And of course, all of the Mike Jorgensen signatures that are all over the stadium, I'm sure, right? Records. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you still have any Ontario
spray
records
paint,
that are still
They spray
over there?
paint that, or at least my daughter does every year for me. So.
Those are the records that are kept.
She tags the place.
Right there. That's fun. I'm glad that you got to do that. Now, we'll also talk about kind of like what we're all going to watch this week. Of course, Big Ten games, we'll talk about that. But, Jerry, how'd you spend your bye week?
After I worked off the 7 ice cream bars that I had on the 4.5 plane ride home, I then decided to go to my luxurious log cabin, kick my feet up by the fire, and eat 17 more ice cream bars.
It's always the ice cream bars, isn't it?
It is.
It's always the ice cream bars.
That's all I have pictures of.
We keep coming back to the ice cream bars. Also, he has held this pose. Good work by Saul. Saul's directing the show today to just hold the pose. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through this show. And, Jerry, if you're watching right now, just know that we love you, buddy. Seriously, though, Jerry's out on assignment, and we thought, well, we have to have some fun with this. So Ryan is going to make the picks that Jerry actually sent in. And now to just go back to Oregon football for a moment. Ryan, answer this as Jerry or as Ryan, whoever. That was one heck of a game. So we were there, right? Like Jorgie and I have talked about it. What was it like for you consuming that game, seeing it even on TV, listening to us, and how big of a win was that in your mind?
Yeah, well, first off, I was listening to it on our new beta zero latency feed, so I had your call, my Jerry Allen call, and Jorgie's call synced up to the TV broadcast at the same time, and it sounded seamless, continuing to roll that out throughout the Oregon Sports Network as the season continues to move forward. But it was such a big and impactful game, and the magnitude of it, you could tell the magnitude coming into the contest. A whiteout, and it was a sea of white. My favorite post and content that came out outside of the fantastic Ducks versus them was the picture of the one Duck fan standing up with the green jersey.
Good job, Eric Evans.
In the sea of white. But for me, watching the game, it felt like it was going to be one of those physicality, whoever wins the trenches is going to win the ball game. And even in the 3-3 first half slugfest, it felt like Oregon won the battle of the trenches. And even when Penn State had the momentum late in the second half, it still felt like Oregon was the team that was the aggressor on the ground rushing the football. And for me, that was the key to the ball game. In a matchup between two top 6 teams in the country, it was a game that came down down to who was going to be more physical and who was going to have more success running the football. And I never felt like there was a doubt for Oregon in the ball game, because while Oregon did have to convert a few fourth downs and be overly aggressive, Oregon had more success rushing the football against a very stout Penn State rushing attack.
What do you think now that you've chewed on it for a week, Jordan?
Oh, I mean, two heavyweights going at it. I mean, that's what I enjoyed probably the most about it was, the two heavyweight, championship fighters going at each other, unlike what they did from the Big Ten championship game last year. When it was a high-scoring game, nobody could play defense. This year, it was pound on each other at the line of scrimmage. I thought Oregon got the upper hand early on, kind of sent the message that here's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it somewhat effectively. But both teams were great between the 25s, but couldn't get it in the end zone in that first half. And, so often happens you can take a look at statistics and go, wow, look at the stats. Oregon must just be up by 3 touchdowns on Penn State. It wasn't that way. Even though Oregon had outplayed Penn State in the first 3 quarters, established a 2-score lead, 17-3, and it felt like it was over at that point, really. I mean, it felt like to me when Oregon went up 17-3 that there's no way that Penn State could stay with them the rest of the game. And just like that, they put Oregon on their heels with a big, Katron Allen run. And then just like that, they were in the end zone. It was a 17-10 game, and everything had flipped just that quick. And with Penn State's opening overtime touchdown, and Oregon had to work so hard to get into the end zone. I've heard some people say, why didn't Penn State go for 2?
Right.
You had Oregon's defense on their heels. Why didn't you go for 2? Well, it's the way it goes sometimes. You take that chance and you don't get it, then you get criticized, that type of deal. But, again, that opening overtime touchdown by Oregon, in which I felt like they tired out Penn State's defense. And then they got to go on offense immediately to the second overtime, scored on the first play with Gary Bryant. The rest is history, that great play by Thieneman. It just felt like you had it won, and then all of a sudden everything had swung the other way, and it was going to get away from you, and then just like that, you flipped it back. The resilience of this team, the things that they learned from this game are going to be tremendous as the season goes on.
I mean, Dan Lanning said that it's maybe the best college football game that he's been a part of, best football game that he's been a part of. And a couple things stick out to me. Like, you talk about winning in the trenches, certainly. This is a Dante Moore Heisman campaign right now, right? 1,210 yards so far on the season, 14 touchdowns compared to 1 interception. The QBR that I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on, he's 13th in the country in QBR. But the fact is that everything that you just talked about, Jorgie, right, in that double overtime, what sets up that Gary Bryant Jr. touchdown was Dante Moore. That sidestep, that was an elite play. And to me, we said this during the game, to me, when we are talking about a highlight reel, right, for Dante Moore that the Heisman voters review, that's going to be a play that's on there, right? And the one interception, by the way, that Dante Moore has thrown this year, Dan Lanning said the wind got it at Northwestern. That was why it was a little underthrown. And I remember we were talking about it at the time, like, if that ball is on a normal trajectory based on what we've seen is normal for Dante Moore, it's a touchdown.
It's 41-0 at that point.
Exactly. I mean, like, it was that's
where it was going to be. Yeah.
So I hope that everybody now, after a game and a performance like that, sees that Dante Moore belongs in that conversation. And if the season continues, and if Dante Moore is in fact a Heisman finalist, let's just take into account what Oregon's quarterbacks have done on a national stage. And this is also informed by the fact that Dylan Gabriel is going to be starting in the NFL this weekend. So is Bo Nix. So is Justin Herbert. Marcus Mariota still on a roster. I mean, there's going to be 3 Ducks that are starting in NFL games coming up at quarterback this weekend. And all of those guys were in Heisman contention. Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel were finalists. I feel like Dante Moore is trending in that same direction.
He is. Absolutely is. I mean, you look at that play that he made at the end of the game to get that touchdown pass to Gary Bryant, deny Dennis Sutton. Yeah. Their best defensive player is who he beat on that play, was able to get away from, get up the field, keep his eyes focused on the receivers downfield and get it to Gary Bryant. But he did it throughout the game, too, when he was able to hit Kenyon Sadiq back across the center, scrambling out away from pressure, running the ball with a lot of courage in that game. I mean, there were a lot of times where he slid, like a baseball player would, and there were other times where he went head first to get some extra yards. But each and every one of those rushes, each and every one of those plays either set up a 4th and short that they converted or made a first down. And then let alone just some of the pinpoint passes, and then not panicking when nobody was there, getting rid of the ball and throwing it out of bounds. It was an inspiring game for his team, for his coaches. They play it as a team. It's not down to one individual, but the performance of Dante Moore so far this year is tough to ignore.
And what strikes me the most has been his leadership so far this season. And you heard Dan Lanning in the post-game press conference after Penn State where Dante Moore at times was settling Coach Lanning down, where Coach Lanning was thinking about situations, what am I going to do on 4th down if we don't convert on 3rd down? And Dante Moore said, no, Coach. Let's convert on 3rd down. I got this. And even, I think what you said, Georgie, and the resilience that Oregon put on display after Penn State was able to answer back. There's nothing more palpable in college football, in my opinion, than a talented team that's playing with some desperation. And that's what Penn State was playing with in the second half. And the Nittany Lions captured momentum of this ballgame late in the 4th quarter. They took the lead in overtime. It takes a veteran quarterback with some leadership in order to bring his football team back, answer the score in the first overtime, and then take the lead in the second overtime. Dante Moore put his head down on rushes. He was physical in this football game, but I think it was the intangibles for Dante Moore which struck me more than anything that he did actually on the football field.
And it's one thing for all of us, right, because we're around practice, right? It's one thing for us to see that. And, like, I talked a lot about how the Ducks simulated the noise and even putting the speakers right next to Dante Moore's helmet during practice, right? But then you saw it, and great job by the video crew, as usual, capturing that poise that Coach Lanning's been talking about, because I just felt like it was such a great example, one, of leadership, but two, just of the personality that he has. And I keep coming back to what Will Stein said to us even on the coaches show, and he said it to me during our pregame interview for the first game of the season, that he just has this moxie about him. I keep coming back to that word to describe Dante Moore, like, to bring in, encapsulate everything we're talking about, the talent, the leadership, the poise. Like, he has this moxie that's impossible to coach, but you can certainly, if you're a Coach Lanning, foster it, you know. And I feel like this game was a great example, and maybe the ultimate example to this point, of what that moxie is that he has. That clearly Coach Lanning, to your point, Ryan, clearly Coach Lanning has fostered that in him.
Yeah, and I think that for a quarterback to have success, particularly at this level, you have to have that level of moxie. And I think that Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel and now Dante Moore, in all of their different ways, have commanded the offense in that locker room with their moxie, so to speak. Dylan Gabriel did it with a level of authenticity. Bo Nix did it with a level of toughness and a little bit of courageousness. And Dante Moore is a little bit of all of that he's now melding together and creating his own new personality and moxie. And this locker room follows Dante Moore, and you hear it whenever they talk with the media about how much trust, whether it's an offensive skill position player, an offensive lineman, or it's a guy on the defensive side of the ball. Everybody says, man, I'm glad I've got number 5 on my team because he has that level of leadership.
By the way, I thought this was an appropriate time to give Georgie this definition before he then chimes in on Dante Moore. You ready?
Yeah.
Moxie, force of character, determination, or nerve.
Yeah,
that's Dante Moore.
It fits, doesn't it?
It fits him.
Yeah, it really fits. Again, and then to see the Will Stein, Dante Moore embrace after the game.
Yeah, that was cool.
About how proud, you talk about Coach Lanning and the way that Coach Lanning has responded to Dante Moore. How about Will Stein?
Yeah.
And he executing the offense, making the decisions, having faith in a quarterback. Now he's got total faith in a quarterback like that. And that's what's amazing about it is you can let him do pretty much anything he needs to do to help lead this team. I'm going to back up also one other thing. Don't forget about the job that this defense did.
Yeah, no kidding.
All game long, to hold them to 17 points, 3 points through 3 quarters before things kind of got away from them in the fourth quarter, and then to reestablish, make the final play was made by the defense. The second to last play was made by the offense, obviously, and Dante Moore and Gary Bryant. But the last play was made by Dylan Thieneman and the defense to be able to shut that thing down and put it away. And the last thing I'm going to say is the importance of winning a game like that. When you've won games where you're scoring 60, and then you got to win a game where you've only scored 17.
Right.
To be able to play in the physical games, the wild games. Indiana's done it too, which is going to be interesting about this game coming up with Indiana next weekend is they've played the same type of games. Iowa last week was a slobber knocker for them. For Oregon and Penn State, it was that same way, that heavyweight bout. The rest of the season they've been scoring tons of points. So now you've proven that you can play both, and hopefully you continue to play great defense and offense to go with it. It was really cool.
And for me, it was the edges. I think that Mateo Uiagalelei and Tatum Tuioti really made their impact known in this game. It didn't have to be a big sack number, but they certainly made their impact known and made Drew Aller uncomfortable.
Well, and even like that period where Tatum Tuioti was out, right? Ducks used timeout to get him back in there. Right? I mean, that I thought said a lot about just the impact that he was having. Also, did you notice he got slobber knocker in there?
I did. I was impressed.
It felt like that, man.
It did.
All those games felt like that. And by the way, Bear Alexander, best game
good.
yet. Yeah, he was really good.
So good. All right, we have gone very long. I have to get a timeout. We're going to make picks. We're going to keep talking Oregon and Penn State. I told you that we'd take an hour to talk Oregon and Penn State.
I love this.
We're back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Truckin' Awesome, Toyota Tundra's got heart-pounding horsepower. Tacoma is one rugged ride, and the 4Runner is tough as nails. Truck yeah. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Truckin' Awesome, Toyota Tundra's got heart-pounding horsepower. Tacoma is one rugged ride, and the 4Runner is tough as nails. Truck yeah. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
It's Friday. It's Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Ryan Milano as Jerry Allen. It's like an acting credit for you today. You know?
I could go to Hollywood.
That's right. That's right. Do it. Mike Jorgensen's here. We'll make some picks. We're going to continue to talk Oregon Penn State. Hey, you know what's great?
You're the closest probably of this group that could.
Who's casting
just
the
due to
Jerry
the hair
Allen biopic?
Talking about Hollywood. Steve said earlier in the comments that we all could have shown up in togas today. That would have fit the Jerry Allen approach.
Should have
done it. Should have done it. We'll talk more Oregon and Penn State, and we're going to make some picks here coming up. But first, our intrepid research crew has pulled up the photo that I was referring to, and it is glorious!
Turtlenecks, look at that.
The turtlenecks are great. I want to know, and I've said this on the air before, for our radio audience, we're talking turtleneck, deep V sweater on top of the turtleneck, and the Oregon Sports Network logo is the classic Oregon Sports Network logo that I got to tell you, Jorgie, I have scoured every archive I can find. This logo was not in use when I came on staff. I have not been able to find a digital version of that logo anywhere. And I asked these guys a couple years ago if they still had those sweaters, and you both said no.
Yeah.
Which is devastating.
I know.
To me.
I don't keep long-time type of stuff.
But that sweater, I mean, it is the quintessential.
It is.
Oregon
I don't know why I didn't keep that.
Like, it is the Oregon Sports Network quintessential fancy party sweater.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you would tie that thing around your neck.
Oh. You'd fit right
the polo.
on the beach.
Tie the thing around your neck. Now I feel like I'm going to be like in Newport Beach, California on a sailboat.
That's what I'm saying.
That
sweater. This sweater is the epitome of, like, if you saw Georgie on a yacht, that's the sweater. Right?
It is that type of sweater.
Bring it back, Jorg. Bring it back.
With a little knot.
With the knot in the front, exactly.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. With the turtleneck,
I
too.
wish I could find out.
Get those aviators back, too.
You think Kelly has any in the back stock that she ever
I've looked.
that somebody else
believe me, I've tried.
No predecessors kept
No. We might find it on eBay someday. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Good.
But it is a
I'm surprised Jerry didn't keep it. He's got a lot of stuff going back.
Maybe somebody in his family has. I don't know. We'll find out when the real Jerry is back.
There was a time,
sorry, Jerry.
it was like 1999, and there was a garage sale, and somebody gave me a good price.
What'd you sell it for, by the way? That's the important thing.
They were very nice, offered me $40 and an ice cream bar, and I said, I'll take it.
$40 at a garage sale.
That's pretty good.
Did you sign it, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But on the inside, so that
on
no
the
one
inside.
can see.
Okay. And it bled through.
Oregon and Penn State, we'll keep talking about it. Of course, Oregon and Indiana with both those teams on a bye this week. We'll have a full preview of that coming up next week. Don Fisher, it's nice during the bye week. I've already scheduled ahead a little bit. We'll hear a little bit from Don Fisher, the voice of Indiana, the Hoosiers, coming up. And certainly they're going through a football revolution right now, for lack of a better phrase, which sets up to be pretty fun. Now, last week, I am happy to report that Georgie and I reeled Jerry in. Jerry went 3-2 last week. He missed on USC. We all did. And he missed on UCLA. Northwestern got the win. UCLA 0-4 facing Penn State this week, by the way. That might be an angry game for Penn State. We'll see. Georgie and I each went 4-1. And Dusty Hara, who was playing the coin, that was actually our first acting job of the year. Dusty,
did he do a backflip for every pick? Or?
Yes, okay. He did. Yeah.
He's very athletic.
Dusty did his job, barely. He got the coin back to 50%.
Ooh.
The coin is exactly here through week 5. The coin is exactly 50% correct.
That's amazing. What do you go, 3-2?
3-2.
Okay.
So that means that I have to pick first, then Georgie, then Jerry. And again, if you're just joining us, Ryan is playing Jerry today while Jerry's on assignment. And the coin will pick last. So I have trust in you to flip the coin, Jerry. But I just want to point out that dent right there is from the coin you are holding on my laptop.
Might need to get you a riot shield for that
So
computer.
I need you to be careful of your laptop is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
There's a reason that Jerry never has a laptop in front of him when he flips the coin. Yeah, I think that's the smart move right there. So last week, anyway, now everybody should know that through 60 games, this is actually pretty historic. Jerry and I are each picking at a 90% rate through 60 games, which is one of the better clips that we've had in the history of Pick'em. I and Jerry both have 54 correct picks. Georgie one behind at 53, and the coin is sitting at, exactly 30. First game, 9 a.m. on Fox. Wisconsin at 2-2, 0-1 in Big Ten play. Visits number 20, Michigan, 3-1, 1-0 in Big Ten play. Wisconsin has just not demonstrated a lot of offense, have not been able to score. They won 17-0 against Miami of Ohio to open the season. I realize I'm saying this, and they scored 42 points against MTSU, but did not have a great showing at Alabama. Only scored 10 points in a 27-10 loss last week to Maryland. I've got Michigan. I've got Michigan by a couple scores, Georgie.
I do too, for the same reasons you just said right there. I mean, Wisconsin's solid defense week in and week out, but they just can't score points. And Michigan at home, whose defense is really, really solid, And I think an offense that's beginning to play better and better and better under Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
I think it's Michigan all the way.
He's going to get better as the year goes on, isn't
Yep,
he?
Yep, he is. He's going to be a really good one.
Jerry?
Yeah. He's a freshman quarterback that I think is going to get better as the year goes on. I'm picking Michigan as well. This Wisconsin team is a team that coming into the year had some expectations for, especially after what we saw Oregon and the fight that the Ducks had to put up last season at Camp Randall against Wisconsin. However, against that Alabama team, that loss to Alabama and then the ensuing game against Maryland, Wisconsin hasn't looked particularly all that competitive against two quality opponents. I think Michigan is another quality opponent, and so the Wolverines are getting my pick.
Coin. Oh, that was a terrible flip.
Bad start.
Terrible flip.
I'm going to flip it again.
Can you do that? He's flipping it with his finger. Did you see that?
I did. It was a
Tails.
It was
Road team.
I had to
different technique.
Change tactics after the first fumble.
If you don't practice that coming into it, it's a little bit foreign.
I can see why the referees have some trouble.
Well, they get to let it hit the ground.
True.
I mean,
we could do that.
You know,
it's just it might bounce.
You never know where it's going to go.
You never know where it's going to go. All right, we got to get a timeout.
Quickly.
And then at the end of this, I will ask: are you picking the exact same yourself as Jerry did? We'll have to find out if you were different or if you tried to convince Jerry to go one way or the other. Don't answer that now. Timeout.
I'm not giving you anything. Of course not.
We're back to the Country Financial Studio after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack, Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen here in the Country Financial Studio.
You just say that. You just come over just like Jerry's there. I mean, you say it just like Jerry's there, and then I look. I look at Ryan. It's like, and then he has that pose. It's like a statue.
I mean,
may or may not have been practicing my coin flipping during the break.
Yeah, which is honestly what Jerry would have done. Jerry's flipped that coin a lot in the last decade.
Get that thing spinning.
So I flipped the coin with my pointer finger. Apparently, everybody flips it with a thumb.
I did not know that you could even do that.
Is this?
How do you do that?
Is this weird? You just kind of place it and then you flip it.
He lifts it. It's like a shot put. Yeah, I'm a thumb flipper.
I'm not sure if my thumb moves
that
way.
Everybody,
thumbs
in the studio. Thumb.
How do you have enough power behind?
to me, I think you're in the minority.
I think I'm in the minority too. Like, I'm trying, and I'm still moving my finger
Let me see the
instead.
coin.
It's a combination of hand and thumb.
So you go, how?
It's because
He's just shot putting it up.
Well, it's like, for me, it's kind of
like.
That's a
coin flip right there.
Well, that was a coin spin. The coin didn't actually tumble.
No, it tumbled a lot.
No, it
Watch,
rotated.
He'll do it again. Watch.
Okay, that was a flip.
That was a thumb flip.
I guess, because I grew up playing basketball, so I'm comfortable spinning a basketball on my finger.
It's more of a flick if you're doing it your way. Let's see.
It's coin flip.
Oh boy,
get it done.
Hey, that spun. It didn't go very high, but it spun like
worked.
15 revolutions.
This is like spinning tops.
Watch your computer.
I guess that does work, but it's hard to do.
I'm sure if you've done it all the time, it's probably natural.
I've never seen somebody flip a coin like that.
To be fair, I think this is the first day I've ever flipped a coin.
You've never.
You've
never flipped a coin in your life.
I'm sure there were times. It's been at least a decade.
You used the coin flip app, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up in a different generation.
You did?
Throw the flag. Thank you. Was that flag for me or for him?
It went to you.
All right, that's a flag for Jerry Allen.
We'll be doing a little research on the next break to figure out.
Picks. Big Ten picks. We continue. Also at 9 a.m. on the Big Ten Network. Number 22 Illinois, 4-1, 1-1 in Big Ten play. They need to right the ship a little bit against Purdue, who's at 2-2, 0-1. I don't think that Purdue's going to win the game. My pick is Illinois. However, I think Purdue is on the right track. We've seen that in the early going with a new regime this year. I bet you this is a higher scoring game than people might think, and Illinois wins, but I don't think it's a blowout. I think Purdue keeps it close, Jordy.
I think Purdue's on the right track. You're exactly right, but I also think that Illinois has gotten back on track the way they need to play after getting blown out by Indiana and then beating USC at home in a nail biter. Frankly, it was back and forth. They found their way of going about things again. However, one little kind of chink in that Illinois armor is I think they felt that offense was going to be solid, but defense was going to be very good this year. Defense hasn't been so good. Obviously, giving up all those points to Indiana. Same with USC at home was a talented offense. And I think Purdue has improved on offense. So Purdue, I think, makes this thing a little closer than Illinois wants to see, but I think Illinois is back on track going the direction they need to go, and I'm taking Illinois.
I actually don't think that this game is going to be as close as you two suggest. I think that Illinois had a little bit of a wake-up call a few weeks ago in that loss to Indiana. This is a good Illinois team. It's a team that went on the road and beat a Duke team that I think is going to be a dark horse contender in the ACC, or at least a backdoor contender in the ACC. And then last week against USC, put in a strong bounce-back performance to get a tough win against a team that I think a lot of people think is very good in USC. Luke Altmaier is a legitimate quarterback. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the conference. I think that Illinois is a team that, coming off an embarrassing loss 2 weeks ago against Indiana, that's going to be the blemish that when you look back at the end of the season, Indiana's a great team, but I think if you're Illinois, you look back at that game come January and say, that wasn't Illinois football. I think Illinois wins. I think they win big.
Jerry's an Illinois fan. Coin?
Did that rotate once?
It flipped like four times.
It flipped. How many flips do you want?
One time is all it has to do.
It's tails.
Okay.
That feels like you're cheating the flip then. Because if it only flips once, then you know what it's.
Well, you have to look and
that
see what
like
it starts.
7 times.
That was a good flip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time out. I have to take a break.
Am I crazy?
More picks. Just stick with us. Get the ibuprofen. Back after this. We're going to make more picks back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey, Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember. Back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son? I let my heart in.
I feel attacked.
Jorgie spent the entire commercial break talking to ChatGPT, and we got an answer on the
and
subject.
I'm the one who's using your phone to flip a coin.
Look,
okay.
Look, Jorgie, can you just read the question to the index finger answer?
Let me get to that. Two-finger pinch. There's actually a two-finger pinch toss.
Oh.
Pinch the coin between the thumb and the index finger. Toss it upwards with a quick snap of both fingers. Doesn't spin as much. Sometimes used as someone wants a quick result without a dramatic flip. Okay, I'll get to that here just a second. I asked too many questions, and all of a sudden I can't find the answer to what I asked.
Now, I just want to point out that when Jorgie asked, about, hey, do people use their index finger? And it just said, not usually.
There we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, not usually. The thumb is by far the most common finger used to flip the coin. Here's why. The thumb has more strength and spring than the index finger, which makes it easier to give the coin enough spin. Using the index finger would feel awkward because it doesn't press against the coin as naturally. That said, some people do flip coins with their index finger, especially in casual settings, but it's much less common and usually doesn't get as much spin, so the toss might look like a lob instead of a fast flip.
That's about right. Picks! It's Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. 12:30 on CBS. Penn State visits UCLA. This, I think, will be a slower start for Penn State maybe than they'd like, but it's an angry game for Penn State. Penn State wins big.
Might draw a few more people for UCLA down in the Rose Bowl, having Penn State come to town, but I don't think the result's going to be any different. Penn State is so good defensively that UCLA's offense is going to have a hard time operating, regardless of whether Penn State scores a whole bunch of points. I just think their defense is going to dominate. I think they get it right. I think they're pretty PO'd about last week and need to get back on the winning track. So all the way across country, not an easy trip for Penn State, just like Oregon going to Penn State, but much easier based on who their opponent is. So I'm taking Penn State.
I think UCLA played better last week under their interim head coach. Tim Skipper is somebody who got this defense in good form against Northwestern. They only allowed 17 points. That was a ball game against Northwestern last week for UCLA. And if Skipper can unlock Nico Iamaleava, then I think UCLA is in strong shape to potentially be an upset candidate for some teams in the Big Ten throughout the latter half of the season. Granted, those teams are not going to be Penn State coming off of a loss, and the Nittany Lions, I think, are looking for a get-back, so to speak, after Oregon went into their house and got a victory against Penn State. I think this is a game for the Nittany Lions where they reestablish themselves as a legitimate top 10 team in the country. I think this is going to be a Penn State drubbing.
Coin.
Well done, Jerry.
Well done, Jerry.
Which finger do you want me to flip it
I
with?
don't care.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
That
was, yeah.
had some,
Tails.
Nice lob.
Yeah, Penn State. That had some good.
Oh,
good
there's
lob.
a lob.
Nice lob, I said.
I was gonna say it had good air under it, and you beat me to it.
It was very soft the way it went up. And
okay.
I would like to
tumbled.
motion that we pick Washington, Maryland last.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, 12:30 on Big Ten Network. UL Monroe at 3-1 visits Northwestern at 2-2. Intriguing.
Why?
Is it?
I think Northwestern wins. I was surprised that odds makers have it about 10 points for Northwestern. Think it's going to be a little bit closer and a low-scoring game. Odds makers have it at 42.5 for the total. So yeah, I'll go low-scoring game and Northwestern wins.
Northwestern's got a good defense.
Yes.
I mean, that was the matchup that UCLA had trouble with last week, was the fact that they were going to have to go against a good defense on the road in not much of a home field advantage, but enough of one for Northwestern, who, again, play defense. You're going to be in every game. I think they'll play just enough offense to win this game comfortably, so I'm taking Northwestern.
Jerry?
Louisiana Monroe is a team that is 3-1 to this point in the season, but the one Power 4 team that they played was against Alabama, and it was a 73-0 loss. The next best win is against a UTEP team that right now is 1-4. I think the record of 3-1 is a little bit deceiving for ULM. I think Northwestern is a team with Preston Stone under center that is going to win the football game.
Coin?
I'm going to flip with my thumb this time.
Oh, that was good.
Wow.
Heads. You thought that one was better?
It had more loft on the lob. Yeah.
So they were both lobs?
I think a flip in general is
That
kind
was
of
kind of
a
an
lob.
arc.
It has an arcing pattern to it. Yeah.
It was heads.
Heads. That's the home team in Northwestern. Good pick by the Coin there. Really nice pick, Coin.
I'm just waiting for Jerry to pick something different. It just there was a hint of that before we came on the air that there might be a different pick, and it hasn't happened yet. So I'm starting to kind of narrow it down a little bit, Jerry.
1 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Michigan State 3-1, 0-1 in Big Ten play. Visits Nebraska 3-1, 0-1 in Big Ten play. I feel like this is a little bit of a prove-it game for both teams. Nebraska being at home, frankly, needs to win this game. The 3-point loss to Michigan, I think, still stings. Nebraska needs to win this game. I'm going to go with the Huskers at home.
I will, too. I think the Huskers are tough at home. I really do. And unfortunately for Michigan State, I think if this game was in in East Lansing, I think they would have a much better shot. But on the road, they've not been great. I think Nebraska's defense is a lot better than USC's, who, when Michigan State played that game on the road, they scored points, but they gave up a lot more points. And I think it's going to be the same way in this game, so I'm taking the Cornhuskers.
Jerry?
I think this is going to be a really good football game. I think that both of these teams are coming off of losses that each one thinks that with a win, they turn into potentially even Big Ten contenders down the stretch of this season. It was a little bit closer for Nebraska last week than it was for Michigan State, but I think this game is going to be really close. I think it's a game that the Cornhuskers need to win, and because of, like I said earlier, there's nothing like talent when it meets desperation in college football. Jerry Allen picks the Cornhuskers.
Cornhuskers it is. All right, Coin.
Thought that was the one.
Heads.
No, that's not the one.
Okay.
That's not the
It's coming up.
Heads, Nebraska. You know, the Coin's putting together a decent week here. So far, the Coin's going Penn State, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Illinois, Nebraska.
I think it could be
Coin,
better.
Coin might be above 50%.
Better than average this week. I think.
It's all about the finger flip. Hey, Coin with an index flip
we're going to find out.
Might be the best percentage the Coin's ever had.
I mean, the Coin, Dusty.
Do you keep like coin splits, like
could.
Based on the type of flip?
Which flipper, which finger flip? Was it caught on the fly?
Here, I'll tell you what.
Did it hit a computer?
What I usually do is I keep the guest picker. Like if we have a guest picker filling in for the Coin, I do keep them noted. So I'm just going to put finger flip next to all of these. Did you do finger flip for every one of them? We did.
The last two have been thumb flips.
Okay.
How long have we done this, Joey? Like 10 years?
More
the
than
picks?
that now.
Okay.
Yeah, since 2014. That was the first year I kept track
Jerry,
of it.
just to break the news to you, this is the first finger flip that's ever happened in the history of this show.
Hey,
so
it's a debut.
So it'll be a new category, right?
Are you going to do thumb flips for the rest of them?
Now I want to do finger flips. We need a sample size.
Okay. So a thumb flip for Nebraska and a thumb flip for Northwestern.
We're going to hold Jerry to that we're going to hold Jerry to that next week with a finger flip.
I might flip lefty. You never know.
That would be interesting.
It would not. I would not catch it.
I can't wait for next week.
4:30 on NBC and Peacock. Minnesota 3-1, 1-0 in Big Ten play. Can they spoil the party for number 1 Ohio State? 4-0, 1-0 in Big Ten play. My answer to that question is no. I think Ohio State's going to smoke them.
Right. How about no? Right.
Thank you, Dr. Evil.
Yeah, you betcha. Ohio State just too good on defense. They might not be spectacular on offense, but they're just too good on defense. And so I think they probably take a beating from Ohio State this week.
Yeah.
I agree with Jorgie. I think that I don't know if Jerry's ever said that, actually. Ohio State's really good on the defensive side of the ball. I think Minnesota is a very good football team. I think they're a team that is going to be at the top half of the Big Ten by the time the season concludes. But against Ohio State in Columbus, this is a game Ohio State's going to win.
Coin? That one looked good off.
Tails.
Minnesota. Ooh. Finger flip. Not trending well. All right, final timeout. We'll come back, pick our last one. So far, really boring day of picks, but intriguing flips on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, so good to see you real.
Final segment on a Friday. Joey Mack, Jerry Allen, and Mike Jorgensen with us today. A spooky season gets underway. It is the month of October. Feels like the heart. I said it yesterday. I love the month of October. It's baseball playoffs professionally, and you get the heart of college football season. Mm-hmm. NBA gets started. NHL gets started.
It's like soup and stew season.
Is it the best sports month of the year?
Oh, man. Saul says yes. I'd have to think about that. I don't have an educated enough
answer to that
question.
You have the sports equinox in October.
That's true. When every single major sport is playing at the same time.
That's a big word for Jerry, by the way. Equinox. Jerry, I never imagined I'd hear that word come out of your mouth.
I did some studying.
Equinox. It's like reconnoiter, you know?
Reconnoiter was a good one last year. Okay. 12:30 on Big Ten Network. 3-1 Washington coming off a loss to Ohio State. They're 0-1 in Big Ten play. Visiting undefeated Maryland. 4-0, 1-0 in Big Ten
Throw it my
play.
way.
Duffer.
Yeah, there we go. I was waiting for that. And waiting for your pick, Jerry, too. I'm really intrigued on this one. So, well.
We only have 2 minutes left in the show.
This is a tough one. I think this is a tough one. Washington, watch out, because Maryland can play football and score points and can get into a track meet and stay with you. I just don't think they're talented enough on both sides of the ball to be able to stay in this game all the way. So although it would not break my heart to see Washington lose this game, I'm picking them because I think that's what I have to do to stay in this competition. So, Jerry?
I think that both of these teams are going to end up in the top 25 by the end of the year. I think that both these teams are really talented.
Interesting.
Maryland is a team that has proven they have offensive firepower, and Washington, I think, is, as much as it pains me to say it, very talented. And I think they have a really good quarterback in Damon Williams.
I do too.
After a loss against Ohio State and the Jed Fish's squad is looking for a get-back, I think they go on the road and beat the Terps.
Coin. Give me the coin. What's the finger flip going to do? That was more of a tumble.
Heads.
Home team.
Ooh. It's an opportunity to take the lead.
The Turtles are calling you, Joey.
I told myself going into today that I was going to take Washington. I still think Washington's going to win. I hate it so much.
Oh, Scott.
I hate it so much. I think Washington's better than Maryland.
Me too.
And I
overall,
it would not surprise me if Maryland wins.
Would it bother you?
No.
Okay.
But I was really hoping that you guys would go home team. I said going in. It's funny, I told somebody in the office earlier today, like, I think Washington's going to win, but I hate it. So that means it's a really boring week of picks. Everything's going to stay right where it is here. And you know what? It seems fitting that Washington isn't the game that decides this right now. Hey, what a show!
Let's see what that says.
By
There
Jerry
we go!
Allen and
Thumb
Mike
flip.
Jorgensen. Have a great bye week, everybody.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption.